I'm Sylvester, part-time writer, full-time human, and this is my story. All right, so I haven't really had like many experiences when it comes to like racism and things of that nature, but the one I had was probably the most like dramatic one that I probably would have ever encountered. So it happened when I was 17, going on 18. In a couple months, it was me and a friend of mine. It was a woman. It was a Caucasian woman. We were driving along. I was dropping her off back home from, I think we went like a date or something like that. But dropping her off back home. I'm in Westland, Michigan, by the way. So I'm dropping her off back at home, and I get flicked. Boys behind me, police, whatever you want to call them, they pull me over. I mean, as far as I know, I'm young. My record is clean. Outside of a speeding ticket or two, I really ain't did much. Behaved kid, et cetera, et cetera. So, I knew something was kind of fishy because two cop cars actually stopped me. So I'm thinking like, you see one car and you already hesitant being black. And you see two, you already know. Cop pulled me over, blah blah blah. He comes to the window. He asks me, license, registration, etc. I give it to him as best as I can. They asked the girl. The cop went to the other side, asked the girl some of the same thing. She give them her information and whatever, thinking it's the end of the story. Come to find out, apparently a pizza place was robbed around the corner from where we were at, and I fit the description along with my car of the person who robbed this pizza parlor, as they say. So they basically take me out the car. They take me out the car. They didn't ask to search the car, but they took me out the car, cuffed me and whatever. I'm pretty sure they took her to the side and spoke to her. I don't know if they were, trying to figure out was I doing something to her because she was white and I was black and we were in Westland and it was at nighttime. So they put me in the back of the police car. It was kind of weird because they took my keys, and I mean, of course, you kind of young, you don't really know the law, you at the time, I probably should have, been able to tell them like, no, I don't adhere to a search of my car or whatever, but I was young and scared, so I just went along with everything. They took my keys, stripped the car basically. Went to the trunk and like just ransacked the trunk. First they asked me did I have anything in it or whatever. I'm like, no, blah blah blah, and they just went through everything without even like really asking me, and it was kind of weird because as I'm back sitting in the back of the police car, an officer while his friends was going through my, the whole whip and whatever. The officer asking me questions like, where'd you go to school? What are you doing? When you graduate, I told him I was going to college. And he was, asking, what are you majoring in? Basically it was real invasive questions. Kind of figure like if he's trying to figure out, if I'm worth pinning something on or something. It was just weird. I've never, I've been put over a couple times, but I've never been asked about my college education or what's about to happen in my future. So that was pretty weird. And the first thing that came on my head was, are they trying to ask me something? Because if I'm saying that I'm not going to college or I'm not doing anything productive with my future, are they gonna pin? If it was a robbery, are they gonna pin it on me or whatever? So I'm like, I'm behaving, just trying to get out the situation or whatever. But he then goes to describe the person who supposedly robbed the pizza place, and he says like the person, supposed to be like 5'8" with like a darker skin tone or whatever, and it was a second, so I forgot the particular jargon he used. But he basically described someone that was almost like the opposite of me. He said the dude was like 5'6", 5'7", or somewhere around that, and at the time I was like 6'2", but I'm a tall fella, so it was like no way that I can be, you know, mixed up with the person that so-called robbed this, you know, pizza place around the corner or whatever. But as soon as they seen that, you know, I didn't have any drugs or I didn't have anything on me or I didn't have some mysterious red bandana that they said was used in the robbery, they basically, you know, let me go and let me be free. And you know, that was an eye opener for me. That, you know, you gotta be careful, you know, being black on Friday night, yo, because they looking for you, for real. And it's really not too much you could do about it, especially when you're young. You don't really know the ins and outs and the workings of the justice system. So you know, you try to do what you can do. But it was an eye opener. I'm Sylvester. That was my story.